All right, Alex, let's get into this. Inventory.
Big inventory numbers.
Yeah, buyers
Happy.
have a choice.
For once.
Yeah, exactly. Spring break is done. We are May 14th. We're another episode of Real Estate in Marin with Dana Williams, the place you need to be if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in Marin. Alex, let's get into it.
Awesome, Dana. The weather is great, and so are some of these numbers. Single family residences for the past week. Mill Valley saw 23 new listings, 11 properties sold. Marin, 84 new listings, 42 sold. Last episode, we kind of talked about how large this number was for specifically Marin. This is mirroring that. And if you look back each of the 4 previous weeks, they've all been either in the 80s or high 70s of just new inventory hitting the market. We did see new sales come up as well, but it really has not kind of followed the explosion, I would like to say, of these new listing numbers. Is that fair in your opinion?
And actually we should say before, we have another guest today in the back, Hershey.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the back, so you know, she may chime in here with a few you know, stats and data,
Guest
but
star.
otherwise, yeah, guest star. But you know, we saw a big jump in active listings.
Exactly. We jumped from 280 just 4 weeks ago to like 480 something this week. Okay,
Yeah.
this number is trending upwards. It was up by 40, then 70, then 70 consecutive weeks. There's a lot of property that's sitting in this market.
Yep. And also we're seeing, you know, cash is still there, not as strong as some of the past weeks, but I think Marin, what was 40%, I think. Mill Valley was less than that.
But smaller numbers,
Small
so
numbers.
a little bit more, you know, percentages there can get a little funky.
How about today? We're out driving,
This is fair.
and there is a glaring fact that we're seeing that we could argue we haven't seen before.
It just seems like there's this huge dichotomy of properties that are just like, okay, what's your pricing strategy here? Are we sure that this is going to work, or is this going to contribute to that active sale number next week, which I'm guessing is going to continue to go up?
Yeah. I mean, pricing, right? We're scratching our head at some of these properties now. It's, you know, what are some of the reasons there? You know, you could have sellers that they're on a low, interest rate from a number of years ago, under 3%, and they're like, yeah, we've been thinking about selling for a while. You know, and they're talking to their agent like, yeah, we'll sell now, but this is kind of my make me sell price. And like, they don't need to sell. That could be one aspect. Or, you know, they're seeing there are definitely some homes that pop. We'll speak to one possibly, where if you're a seller, you could be like, well, that property's just down the street from me. It sold for this, therefore my property sold for this.
Right.
Yeah, and we're talking like, if you're a seller, you know, recommendation is with the amount of inventory that we're seeing, you really need to, again, work with your agent. You know, when I'm working with sellers, you really need to buyers are very picky right now. Their interest rates, it's not under 3. You're up in the high 6s, you know, maybe there's cash. They want a deal, and they're gonna be looking at comparable properties, and you really need to, if you're a seller, to really like, not just look at that one property that sold like high and seems great. You really need to, pricing is key.
Right.
And, buyers are not gonna overpay right now.
And it's really apparent a lot of people are looking at that one property near them that was like, wow, look at the price that they got. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we will see. I mean, that's the nature of this business. You know, we'll be able to look back in a month when we do our next one and see. But yeah, let's get into that property that we talked in Larkspur.
Yes, this is Larkspur. This is 115 Baltimore Avenue. This was a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2449 square foot single family residence.
Yep.
They listed it at 1.495 million. 5 offers took this thing to over 2.5 million. It was almost 70% over asking.
Right. Yep.
What? I thought I just said it was a buyer's market, Dana.
I know, right? I mean, I saw this place, goes back to, don't mean to sound like a broken record, but location. It was flats of Larkspur, close to town. And it had this old pool on it. It was, the layout, it wasn't like vertical. It had an 8,000 square foot lot, so good sized lot. and 5 offers. So there definitely was, a bidding war,
Competitive, yep.
competitive, and that spikes it up. And again, this goes back to that message with sellers. Like, as much as you feel maybe sometimes they can control what the price is going to sell for, again, buyers love to see value. So you need to price it so buyers are like, wow, let's get in on that. And you see a competitive scenario play out like this.
There's going to be exceptions, and especially for stuff that's well competitively priced. To close us out, a fun little fact you heard was what, every day now you're seeing 10 price cuts on property
around it's around in Marin, price reductions. I think it's like in the last week and like 10 a day. Speaks to kind of what we're seeing out there today, some of the pricing, right? I mean, there's a discrepancy, right, in general, and on more than we've seen, leading up to now, of what sellers are thinking and what buyers are thinking.
Right.
And that's what's playing out. Yes, another episode, Real Estate Movement, with Dana,
Alex,
and Hershey.
And
And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.